So leading up to your wedding day, there are so many moving parts, and we understand the entertainment is just one piece of that puzzle. But the point of this video is to bring a little bit of clarity, a little bit of a peek behind the veil as to what kind of effort we're putting in ahead of wedding day to make sure that everything is perfect for you. Today, we are going to cover a multitude of planning points. Everything is ultimately based around the schedule. The schedule is the glue that keeps everything together, and we spend a lot of time looking through the schedule and not only making sure that we are adhering to it, but if there are minor things that we would change to help out the overall flow of the day, these are things that we acknowledge early on in the process so everything is good to go on game day. First and foremost, we want to make sure that all of the moving parts of your wedding are on time, and a big way that we manage that is by adhering to the schedule that you've put together, either with us, with your planner. Regardless of its origination, we make sure that we are always on time with your schedule to make sure the day flows perfect. So if part of your day involves a ceremony, which most of the couples that we serve, they do have that as an element of their day, we want to make sure that not only do we understand all of the music, all the important timing points for the music as far as when selected songs are played, when selected songs change, we also want to make sure that your officiant is able to communicate clearly to all of your guests. And a big proponent of that working out well for everyone is ensuring that we have adequate time before everything starts to have a sound check. When it comes to your cocktail hour, this part of the evening is super important because this sometimes is the first chance a lot of your guests have the opportunity to communicate with each other. It's important when we are planning out the music that is played during the cocktail hour experience. It's not anything too distracting. We want to keep volume at baseline so people can catch up, say hi to each other, but also we want to make sure that we meet the vibe musically that you're looking for. And again, this is another angle of prep that we do in advance. We make sure that maybe the music that you don't want to dance to, but you enjoy listening to, gets played at this segment of the night. The grand introduction. This is one of the most energetic first moments of the night, and this is how we absolutely crush our grand introductions with the couples that we serve. First and foremost, we want to make sure that we know very, very specifically how they want to be introduced into the room. For some couples, it's let's hear it for our newlyweds, so-and-so, first names only. For some couples, they want a more formal introduction where it's Mr. and Mrs. new last name. We make sure we cover all of this in our planning leading up to the wedding. And we also want to make sure that the music that we play during this moment brings the same level of energy that you're hoping for this first milestone moment of the reception. For some couples, that might be one song that's used for the entire wedding party, and we're aiming for a specific part in that song selection for them to walk through the doors. For other couples, they want their own unique individual song that they're walking into. And before that takes place, maybe they split up the bridesmaids and the groomsmen to each have their own individual songs for those groups walking into the room. Whatever way that we decide to design this special moment, the most important thing for us is that we have clarity on what music is played for which groups of people. And we have clarity on if there are any points where we want to time something perfect. We've discussed that in advance. When it comes to dinner, similar to the cocktail hour experience, you are making sure that we're playing music during this segment of the night that is music that's representative of you, songs that the two of you want to hear, but maybe songs that are not conducive to a very energetic dance floor experience. The other element of dinner comes to, of course, eating. And when it comes to food, there's a couple different ways that this works for dinner experiences. One of those could be dismissed tables. Typically, the catering staff will be around to dismiss tables. Sometimes we have couples request that we help dismiss tables, and if that is the case, the only thing we ask is if there is a priority order in which tables need to be dismissed, so we make sure the right people are being dismissed first. The other way that dinner can be handled is sometimes the venue will bring plates out to the tables. But in either arrangement, you want to make sure that, again, the music It's music you enjoy listening to, maybe not music that is conducive to a very energetic dance experience. And we typically like to keep the volume a little bit lower during this moment of the evening too, to make sure that the guests at the table can catch up, conversate, and we leave the real exciting energy for later in the night. Mispronounced names are every couple's worst nightmare, so that is why we ensure on our final meeting that we cover all the correct pronunciation for any names that we will be announcing on the microphone. That could be a new last name, that could be your best man, your maid of honor that we're introducing to the microphone to give a toast. Regardless of the circumstance, we make sure we have the phonetics tight so that any name that we announce on the microphone is perfect. Speeches and toasts. Let me ask you before I even dive into this, how many times have you attended a wedding and you couldn't hear what someone that was giving a toast was saying? You're sitting in the back of the room. We remedy this by coaching everyone that has a key role to play in your wedding with a microphone exactly how to hold the microphone properly so all of the guests in the room can hear what they're saying. Sometimes, depending on the size of the room, even proper mic use is not enough. And in those scenarios, we deploy satellite speakers that we install in the back of the room to make sure that the tables that are further removed from the primary DJ setup have speakers closer to them, so you have good, even audio distribution in the space. First dances. All of the eyeballs in the room are on you. We want to make sure that that moment is perfect, and that entails a few different elements. One, we want to make sure we have the exact version of the song that you plan to dance to. I know there's a multitude of versions of different song selections, which is why in our final meeting we do get clarity if there is, let's say, an acoustic version or a specific cover of a song. We want to make sure it's exactly the version of the track that you are expecting. The other element to this is if there are any desired early fade times. I can't tell you how frequently we get asked from the couples that we're serving, hey, can we end this song that I'm dancing with my parent to a little bit early? The answer is always yes. The only thing that we define in our final meeting is clarity on exactly when that end time will be. That prevents us from playing the game of, oh, I see, are they winking at me on the dance floor? Is that the cue? We get all that out the window. We discuss it in advance. Everyone knows when that designated end time will be for that specific song. We've arrived at the part of the evening where we open up the dance floor, and one of the most common concerns that we hear from the couples we serve is, how do we get people out of their seats on the dance floor? I will say, in all of my years of doing this, hundreds of weddings, the biggest influencing factor on the momentum in which a dance floor grows is whether or not the bride and groom make their way to the dance floor immediately, or if they go outside, take some photos, go hang out at the bar for a little bit. Do not forget that you are the magnet of the evening. If you make your way to the dance floor immediately, if you tell your wedding party, hey, it's your job as part of our wedding party to be some of the first feet on that dance floor, the song that you choose for that opening moment is almost second in importance. Where you are at matters so much. So I encourage all the couples we work with, if you want the momentum of that dance floor to build quickly right out the gates, be on that dance floor immediately. Music organization is something on the back end that we spend so much time getting ready for every couple that we serve. But what most couples want to understand when they talk to us is, will the music that I want to hear get played? And will the music that I don't want to hear be avoided? The answer to both of those questions is absolutely yes. If you are looking for a DJ company that does cookie cutter, every DJ plays this music, that is not us. We take so much attention to detail and care into making sure that every time we have the opportunity to serve a couple and create a musical experience on their dance floor for potentially one of the biggest days of their life, it is representative of them and the music that they would like to hear. The final song of the evening changes from couple to couple. Some couples like to have a private final moment with just the two of them on the dance floor. Some couples want to be surrounded by all of their loved ones, singing a song together, or having a very big climactic moment with everyone in the room. Again, this is something that changes as often as the direction of the wind, and something that we make sure we accommodate whatever our couple's vision is to make sure that we put the perfect bow on the perfect night for all the couples that we serve. Each of these topics could have been its own video. Of course, this is just scratching the surface of each of these segments of the overall day. Just wanted to take a minute to give you a little peek behind the curtain to see what we're up to before the big day arrives.